It's time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news on 95.1 FM, weather always comes first. High winds and low relative humidity will produce critical to extremely critical fire weather conditions in Southern California. That continues on through at least tomorrow. Impactful wintry weather is becoming more likely tomorrow morning through Friday evening for portions of Texas into the lower Mississippi Valley and Mid-South before possibly moving into the Mid-Atlantic by this weekend. Winter storm watches are being raised. Closer to home, the cooling down continues, culminating in very chilly temperatures today and tomorrow. Light snow is in the forecast for the desert lowlands and area mountains today through Friday morning. Partial temperature recovery Saturday and Sunday with highs back close to normal. We'll have another look at the weather following this news. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham's Public Safety Town Hall is today at the Taste Center at New Mexico State University Alamogordo from 5:30 until 7:30. The town hall is going to be an open discussion on crime and creating a safer New Mexico for everyone. The town hall will be live streamed on YouTube with live video ASL interpreting and closed captioning. Another live stream will be available on Facebook. Mountain View Church will be opening up the church for shelter for those on the streets or sleeping in their cars this week. Cots, a warm place to sleep, and dinner every night. See the Mountain View Church Facebook page for information. The City of Alamogordo Parks and Recreation Advisory Board would like to announce a change to their meeting schedule. The regular quarterly meeting was originally scheduled for today, but that has been moved to next week, Wednesday, January 15th at 6 p.m. That'll be at the Alamogordo Recreation Center, 1100 Oregon. The Otero County Commission regular meeting is this Thursday at 9 a.m. There's several pieces of new business, including request approval for authorization to expand the Sidney Paul Gordon shooting range with a new 100-yard bay at the cost of $25,000, as well as discuss and consider the reorganization of the County Commission Board for 2025. A Facebook page has launched by the city to be your source for news and updates regarding city parks, trails, courts, facilities, events, programs, and more. Follow the Parks and Recreation Facebook page, facebook.com/Alamogordo Parks and Rec. Beginning in February, new traffic control is going to be in effect at 10th and New York as the New York Avenue Street Maintenance Program, which consists of a water line and sewer line replacement, reaches the halfway mark. Crosstown construction is going to begin in the streetscape work on the surface of the streets known as the Main Street Makeover. During this time, General Hydronics Utilities will continue to work on the 800 block of New York Avenue. The City of Alamogordo is collecting Christmas trees for recycling. Collection runs through Friday, February 7th. All Christmas trees that are collected will be mulched into a pile accessible to the public. You can drop off your tree at the Sergeant Willie Estrada Memorial Civic Center, the Alamo Senior Center, or the Alamogordo Convenience Center. In the month of December, more than 62,200 people visited White Sands National Park, which is a 14% increase over the previous year. Some additional numbers of note: over 1,000 of those visitors attended sunset strolls, and park staff swore in about 1,500 new junior rangers. The presidential inauguration party for Donald Trump will be hosted by the Republican Party of Otero County and the Otero County Federated Republican Women. That's on January 20th at 6 p.m. at the Flickinger. Donations at the door are appreciated. Award for the best dressed Trump supporter. You can watch the ceremony in the theater and join in for snacks in the reception hall. If you have any questions, 575-430-5180. As a reminder, please refrain from leaving your guns unattended in vehicles. Police departments across the state are reporting guns are being taken from cars. Las Cruces police have taken reports of 8 firearms in the last 8 days taken from vehicles. The stolen firearms include handguns, a couple of rifles, and a shotgun. Most of the stolen firearms were taken from unlocked vehicles. You know it's cold outside. Let's have a special message one more time from Kitty City.
Hi, this is Kathy Denton with Kitty City, and this is a special edition of Cat Chat. Cold weather is here, and rain, snow, and ice are on its way. Help your outside dogs and cats and other animals by providing a dry, warm place to stay out of the weather. Best practice is to bring your dog or cat inside, in a laundry room, in the garage, or in a shed. But if that's not possible, provide a dog or cat house outside that is four-walled with a roof that they can get out of the weather. The shelter should be off the ground about 2 to 4 inches so it does not flood. There should be a flap of plastic for the doorway that the animal can go in and out quickly, but cold air and rain will stay out of the shelter. Insulate with straw only. Do not use blankets, towels, or hay. All of those things get wet and stay wet. Straw insulates and provides warmth even when it gets wet. Make sure there's a roof that's waterproof on top of the shelter. You can add additional waterproofing with a tarp over top of the entire structure. Place food and water close by the shelter or inside the shelter. If it has to be outside, make sure that the food does not freeze, and the water, if it has a layer of ice, break the ice every morning. Make sure the animal has access to food and water. If you place the food and water outside the shelter, make sure that you break the ice on the water dish every day so the animal has access to fresh water. If you don't have an outside shelter for your animal, you can build an inexpensive cat shelter. A large tote bin with a lid. You need a small insulated styrofoam cooler that fits inside that tote, or a second tote that fits inside the first tote. You need straw, not hay, to insulate between either the two totes or the tote and the insulated cooler. Take a round flower pot and use it as a stencil to draw a circle to make a hole through both totes or the tote and the cooler. Cut out the bottom of the flower pot and insert it into the structure that makes an opening for the cat to go in and out. Take the tote lid and put it on top of the tote and snap it shut. You can further insulate by having a small tarp over top of the tote and make that waterproof. Place this shelter in a place that gives a little bit of protection from wind and weather, and also is a little bit camouflaged, say, at the edge of a shed, underneath some trees, on your porch, next to the wall. That would give the tote a little bit of protection besides being insulated. Our animals depend on us to keep them safe. And with snow, rain, and ice coming in the next couple of days, we want to keep them warm and dry. This is Kathy Denton with Kitty City and a special edition of Cat Chat. Help keep our animals dry and healthy with this impending weather. Kitty City and you. No one loves them better.
News from around the state in just a moment. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
Local news from local perspectives, from local voices. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Local sports, local events, and local happenings and more. Nonprofit owned and operated by Second Life Media. We are Otero County. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Heard daily on Crazy KALH Radio 95.1.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
A former Sandia preparatory school track coach will avoid any prison time after admitting to sexting with a student. Trejon Felipe pled guilty to 2 counts of criminal sexual communication with a minor and criminal solicitation with an electronic device last month. In 2024, Felipe used social media to send explicit photos of himself to a student and even asked that student for sex. Judge Britt Baca sentenced him to 5 years of supervised probation, and he's going to have to register as a sex offender. One person is facing human smuggling charges after 11 illegals were found padlocked in the back of a U-Haul box truck. The illegal aliens were found in the rented truck in Hurley, that's near Silver City. 11 were in the back of the truck, and another was up front as a passenger. All 12 were being processed under Title 8. The driver, who had a Mexican driver's license, was also arrested, facing human smuggling charges. The illegals were from Guatemala, Mexico, El Salvador, and Honduras. 28-year-old Jesus Rubio of Las Cruces is dead after he was involved in an officer-involved shooting this past Monday at Hobbs. State police say 2 of their officers attempted a traffic stop in Hobbs on a vehicle driven by Rubio, who did not initially pull over. However, he eventually did pull over and open his door, at which time officers instructed him to stay in his vehicle. Rubio ignored those commands and exited the vehicle anyway. He then held his right hand behind his back upon exiting. Officers gave commands for Rubio to show his hands, and Rubio raised his arms as if he was pointing a firearm, and he walked toward the officers. Both of the officers then fired at least 1 round from their weapons, striking Rubio. He was transported to an area hospital where he later succumbed to his injuries. State police say the officers have been placed on standard administrative leave, and their identities are not going to be released until interviews are complete. No officers were injured during the incident, and no firearm was recovered from the scene. Western New Mexico University President Joseph Shepard ended the Board of Regents meeting within minutes after it lacked a quorum to continue following the resignation of board members amid growing criticism of Shepard's severance payout. Yesterday, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham spoke with KOAT as she works to replace the board after calling for immediate resignations due to questions of wasteful spending and financial oversight failures.
I had lost all faith in any of the regents to be able to, as a collective, do right by New Mexicans at that university. And the best way to assure accountability is for me to have a new group of appointed leaders who understand that they must do that.
The former Board of Regents supported a guaranteed one-time payment of $1.9 million as a severance package, but also he would receive a full-time teaching position for the WNMU School of Business and a 6-month paid sabbatical. He received that package just before he resigned from his position as president on January 15th. And finally, yesterday, Peter Yarrow of Peter, Paul, and Mary passed away at the age of 86. While some may praise his contributions to popular music with such songs like Puff the Magic Dragon, others point to his 1969 molestation of a young girl. He even admitted it and was sentenced. 3 months into that sentence, President Jimmy Carter pardoned him, his last day of office. Now, some might say, I never heard of this, or I don't remember this, and I think that was by design. Carter signed the pardon hours before the hostages were freed from Iran and hours before his own presidency came to an end. So yeah, let's honor Jimicata tomorrow with a day of mourning. Sports and weather are coming up next. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in New Mexico is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, they just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the New Mexico Activities Association and the New Mexico Athletic Directors Association.
Nothing scheduled today, but plenty of stuff tomorrow. Also, Tularosa High School baseball workouts are going to begin on January 13th after school at the THS Field. Your Crazy Radio spot-on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for mostly cloudy skies. There's a 30% chance for snow. New snow accumulation less than 1/2 inch expected. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a 20% chance for snow. New snow accumulation is expected to be less than 1/2 inch. Mostly cloudy skies tomorrow with a 60% chance for snow. Your high today in the basin, 41. Wind chill's going to make it feel like it's 15. Low tonight of 25. High tomorrow, 42. Wind chill's going to make it feel like it's 26 degrees. In Cloudcroft, mostly cloudy skies today with a 40% chance for snow. New snow accumulation less than 1 inch expected. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a 40% chance for snow. New snow accumulation less than 1 inch expected. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a 60% chance for snow. Winds gusting up to 17 miles per hour. Your high today in Cloudcroft, 32. Wind chill's going to make it feel like it's -7. Low tonight of 16. Wind chill's going to make it feel like it's 7. High tomorrow, 30. Wind chill's going to make it feel like it's 9 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.org, and learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting kalhradio.org. Also, check out the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel. That's where we post our daily newscasts, complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you've not done so already. That way you too can remain informed of the goings-on in the Tularosa Basin. And that concludes today's edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.